Greetings, Pastor Melanie here with this week's prayer and fasting focus. Life can include seasons we don't anticipate. Plans don't always unfold as we expect, and sometimes we face struggles that feel unfair or overwhelming. In these moments, it's natural to feel doubt, fear, or frustration, but God invites us to look beyond what we see and to trust that He works for good. The Apostle Paul tells us in his letter to the Romans, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." That's from Romans chapter 8, verse 28. This verse doesn't promise that life will be easy, that difficulties will vanish. Instead, it assures us that God works for good in all things. He works through our waiting, through our fasting, through our prayers, and even through the hardships that feel so difficult. God's plan is not always immediate or obvious, but we can trust that it's intentional and unfailing. As we spend time together this week praying and fasting, we're saying to God, "Lord, I may not understand, but I choose to trust you." In those moments of surrender, God begins to transform our hearts, aligning our perspectives and positioning us to receive His blessings. Our fasting is not about earning favor. It's about creating space to see Jesus at work more clearly in our lives. God works for good in ways that often surprise us. Sometimes the good He brings is healing, peace, or provision. Sometimes it's strength, wisdom, or a deeper intimacy with Him. And sometimes the good is growth of character, patience, and a faith that grows through perseverance. This week, let your prayers and fasting and trust be a declaration that no matter the circumstances, God's good will prevail. Some ways we can focus our prayers this week are to pray for clarity, to see God at work in every situation, even those that feel confusing or hopeless. To ask God to transform your current trials into opportunities for growth, blessing, and faith. To pray for strength and perseverance during this time of fasting, that your heart remains focused on God's will. To intercede for friends, family, or circumstances that seem beyond hope, asking God to intervene and work for good. And to pray for gratitude that you might recognize God's good in the small and everyday moments. Blessings to you this week as we pray and fast together.